posts, and you
Oh,
could see
shit.
what you posted. Right. Hey. Double song. This is interesting. What's up, gang? It's Clint. I'm back. I'm here with another episode of Versus. Oh, I know what's happening. I'm hearing I was hearing some stuff up there. Man, it is good to see you guys. Back with another episode of Versus. Today we got an exciting show. Today we're going to be talking about, what are the subjects, guys? What are we talking about? Tombstone versus Wyatt Earp. That's right. Tombstone versus Wyatt Earp. I know you're thinking, but Clint, Wyatt Earp was in Tombstone. Well, if those of you don't remember, there was two movies that were almost the same that came out almost to the same year. And one of them was in 1993. The other one was in 1994? How could this happen? Because the universe is a crazy place, that's how. But before we get into that, why don't we get Curtis in here so we can talk about all this stuff? Holy smokes, where's Curtis? There he is. Curtis, how you doing, man?
I'm doing very well, sir. How are you tonight?
I'm doing excellent, man. I'm having some weird boogeyman problems in my with my stuff a little bit, but you know what's new? Mercury retrograde. Just kidding. Yeah, man. It's good to see you, buddy. How you doing?
Yeah, good to see you as well. I'm all right. Both the kiddos are sick. That's awesome.
Not
So,
good.
and if you remember, they were sick last week too. So, like,
how sick? Like, what kind of sick we talking about?
I think they got the flu from, or my daughter got the flu from daycare. 4 kids went home with the flu, but we got the flu shot, so she's kind of already over it. But then my son started barfing tonight. So if you see my mic and screen cut out,
yeah,
I mean I'm feeling fine. But like yeah, you go. But yeah. Other than that, I mean we're pretty good down here. You know, I'm so glad to be talking to all y'all.
Hell yeah, man. Well, let's look in the chat, see who we got chilling over here. I see we got Bobby.
Hello, lady.
Hello, Bobby. Bobby, I'm a suckering for Western from Gunsmokes, The Rebel, Dead Alive, all of them. I'm a fan too. I like them too. That's the best part about going to my mom's house. It's if I'm going to my mom's, you better believe I'm going to be watching The Rifleman. It's going down. And last time I was over there, we were watching 1833.
Oh, I've heard that's good. 1883, I think.
1883, that's what it is. Yeah. I've gotten it wrong. I think
really
I'm going to start doing it wrong on purpose. I was watching 1843. Yeah, and so yeah, I had a good time with that, and it's a good show. I need to get back on that. I need to finish that show up. Yeah, 2883 exactly. Holy smokes.
We got Angie Hanbury. She says 2 of my favorites. Hopefully she's talking about us, but I think she's talking about the movies.
1984. That's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, man. Well, what a crazy thing. You know what's funny is I didn't even know about the Wyatt Earp movie when it came out. You forgot? How'd you forget about The Rifleman? That's one of the best ones. Yeah, and I never saw. Somehow I went all this time and I never saw Wyatt Earp until now.
I'm in the same boat. I had actually I'd probably seen parts of it whenever I was rewatching it or watching it. I think I'd definitely seen parts of it in and out, but I was kind of always of the effect of like, yeah, I can watch this, or I could just watch Tombstone again. Tombstone was so awesome. But I am very glad that I watched it.
Yeah, it's I am too, man. I know a lot of people thought maybe we'd be talking about the new Batman movie since But before we get into like the nitty gritty of this Tombstone Wyatt Earp situation,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
oh, what other news do we have? What other news do we got? Well, we had the Batman, and
Hey.
hey, look, we're coming to you from the Bat Cave right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought maybe we'd be talking about the Batman, but I don't want to do any spoiler reviews. I know you haven't seen it either, Curtis. So I want to give you a chance to see it. I'll just say, anybody
I
out there, uh, if you haven't seen the Batman yet, it's in theaters. Go check it out. It's really good. I was really blown away by the movie. It's really cool. It's a dark kind of a noir detective vibe, and I know that the comics have been like that, but it was they weren't quite like it was a cold dark night. I
yeah.
saw
Oh, yeah.
Catwoman, but it is very much a detective show, and it's
Mhm.
really cool. A lot like Seven in some ways. You're dealing with a serial killer kind of a guy with leaving riddles and stuff. And hey, it's a Riddler. It's not like, hey, riddle me this. It's like a dark, sick and twisted Zodiac killer kind of a dude. And the movie was great. It was really cool. And I taught
Mhm.
anybody who saw a small screen already heard my whole spiel, but this is for anybody
Yeah.
else. It wasn't the Batman that you're used to getting, and I think it was a refreshing take. It was beautifully filmed, just really well made movie. It was really enjoyable. It's kind of long, but I mean, this is an intense thriller of a movie, and it was good. So I think anybody who had any doubts or is like, oh, geez, another Batman, this is a different spin. And if you enjoyed Seven, if you enjoyed serial killer movies, and you'll enjoy this movie. And it like unlike a lot of the movies, I feel I'm either I'm getting old and jaded. It just seems like there's been a lot of generic movies that aren't really original. It's just like a lot of filler over the last 5 years. You know what I mean? There's like a really amazing original movie is
But
is rare, especially since the pandemic. It's like they've waited to
well,
put
yeah.
anything great out till after the pandemic. This is like got a really cool, unique flavor and stuff. What were you gonna say, Curtis?
No, I was gonna say, I mean, you're getting old. Sorry,
Yeah,
bud, but you
definitely.
are.
Yeah,
But I
definitely.
don't know
But
about jaded because that's the thing is that they make these, a lot of movies for new eyes. We've seen a lot, even if it's not the same movie, and that's one of the issues we have with movies nowadays. A lot of it's reboots or this or that. But even if it's not that, it's the same tropes or the same this and that. We've seen enough to understand that, whereas new eyes haven't. And they can put those out again to these young people. It's new. So,
well, there,
um,
there.
and go
Go
ahead.
ahead, man. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, no, that was just my point. Is that it is like they're not made for us. Like a lot of them aren't made for us. Like so. We're gonna see it no matter what. But the new eyes aren't, and that's where the money comes from.
I think production wise too, though, there's a lot of technology and things breakthroughs that are happening with
Hmm.
software and whatnot that people use these cheats now, and then it becomes like close enough a slightly lesser than version where it's all
Hmm.
technology done, whether it's green screens. Or I was thinking, because we were talking about they're in talks about maybe possibly doing another Beetlejuice movie. And hold
Hmm.
on one sec. Maybe doing another Beetlejuice movie, and the idea they were talking about, somebody was talking about claymation from Beetlejuice. Maybe they'll go back and
Right.
do claymation. I was thinking about it. I'm like, no, they probably won't. They'll probably have some kind of computer generated thing that
They'll
looks like claymation, and they're like, oh, this is way cheaper and faster, and and uh,
they'll
and
have
and they're like, it looks just as good. And maybe they have one situation where it does, but all around maybe it doesn't. And I think like there's a lot of things like now we have the computer animated version of claymation and the computer
no. That's
version. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
like you could
Yeah, they'll
shortcut.
have one sculptor come in and he'll model like the opening, shot of the scene, or they'll model one scene, and then they will render that, and then they'll make the computer do all the stuff with that rendered, model. Like they're not going to pay somebody to go move, click. move,
Yeah.
click,
And
move.
And
You
that's what
know,
happens when we get this software and stuff, and you lose some of the old ways. In some ways, they improve certain things, but
right.
like auto tune happened, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, dude, we got like 20 years of auto tune. And rather than making you sing it 10 times until you get it right, it's so much
Hmm.
easier to have you sing it once or twice and then just auto tune it. Boom, go next song. You know what I mean? And
There you go.
it's like, hey, it's that much better. And I don't even Adele, like anybody, all these people, they'll use Melodyne or auto tune or certain
Hmm.
corrections to like, oh, that performance, the the feel in that take was so good. We don't need you to redo it. I'll just fix this little thing because the character
Hmm.
was so good. And I'm sure there's the equivalent in filmmaking. And I don't even know how I went off on this rant, but bottom line,
No, how? Yeah, yeah. No, I understand. Your technology is taking things away as well as adding things.
yes. And I feel like, oh, that's what I was getting at. The more movies and things that are being made, I feel like maybe they're taking shortcuts like auto
Hmm.
tune. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why we get a lot of okay movies. Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
they're
nothing that's
rushed for
like,
budget
"Oh,
reasons.
how did they?" And that's the thing too, like, when, Angie brings up a good point, she says, "A Nightmare Before Christmas, nothing beats that." Like, if you have Angie, if you haven't seen the movies that made us on Nightmare Before Christmas, it's pretty amazing. That was the last, I think the last fully stop motion, um, movie that they made, and yeah, computer can do this stuff, and but, like, that's the thing is that, like, now with these movies, you don't go, "How did they do that?" In movies, you should go, "How the f" like, you'd walk out of the theater going like, "How the hell did they do that?" Like, how could you pull that off and somebody's not dead or how did that, like, happen? How could they do that? Now it's like, "Oh, well, a computer did that," you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not as impressive. I know that there are many people working very hard and animating and stuff like that, but we know it's just animation. Like, when they did something in a cartoon, like dropping an anvil on somebody's head, you didn't go, "How did they do that?" 'Cause somebody drew it, and they drew it amazingly, and they did very well. But seeing something in live action and seeing some practical effects, it was like and whenever you could walk out of there and go like, "What how did they make that happen?" Like, that looked real. Like, and now it's just like, well, they animated it with a computer, so
Computers.
there's
Yeah.
no yeah, there's no mystery, there's no you like it kinda it does take away from it because that's how they did it, and,
I wish I had a
it
shot with a fisheye lens. Hold on, and then they just morph it in
and that yeah,
uh,
like,
uh,
"Yeah,
no
we can fix
problem.
that." So I mean, yes, it does it absolutely add to things. It's not, we're not Luddites, we're not against technology, but it absolutely adds things to it. But at the same time, it takes stuff like that away. It takes stuff like uh, these giant sets that were built, and that and some you can buy like old set pieces and props and stuff like that from movies, stuff like that. That's not gonna be a thing in the future, like, because they're not gonna be there, you might be able to buy the clothing that the person's wearing, but other than that, but they used to go on mountaintops and build sets and stuff like that and have to go to these locations, and, that's a lot more human effort. It's that's why just like whenever you buy handmade, like something handmade, it's like, you know, it's the same dish or whatever it is that you could have bought, mass produced, but the imperfections, are what make that show that it's handmade that make it, you know, special.
Yeah.
The fact that you can see the zipper sometimes makes it special. Somebody did that. Somebody, it was a real person in the suit or something like that. I don't know.
Well, I don't
And
know.
again, just to reiterate, we're getting old.
Yes. Well, I don't know what it is though. If it's the production shortcuts or what, but it's been a long time that like since I've seen movies that really blow my skirt up. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it seems like it's just like they've gotten to where it's like a routine or like a
Hmm.
formula, and they're formulaically just tossing out movies. And they're like, yep, that's how it's supposed to do it. Yep,
Hmm.
special. Yep, special.
Yeah.
This is, this is Sandra. Boom. Yeah, and so it's weird. Yeah, and if you've watched a Netflix movie, it's even worse because Netflix movies are not special whatsoever. They're just like, hey, we've got an idea. We're gonna make a completely generic movie and pay somebody with who's a draw to put their face on the thumbnail and not put any
Mhm.
love into this movie. That's how I feel. I feel bad saying that about any creative project because some poor huge group of people put their blood, sweat, and tears into these things, but it seems like their quality filter is pretty weak. I don't know.
Hey, you know what? Whoever makes Dixie cups, those there's tons of people who put all their blood, sweat, and tears into that. They make them, they produce them, they ship them, and all that good stuff. But they're still just Dixie cups, man. You throw them away when you're done with them.
well, well, going back into a segment, streamaholics mode. Uh, do you have anything interesting that you watched this week?
Uh, Not particularly. Like it's a little bit dead right now. We're waiting for a lot of things to come on. However, I did start checking out. Oh, goodness. The show that Mel recommended.
Hmm.
Solar Opposites. Yes, on Hulu. It's from the creators of Rick and Morty. It's very much like Rick and Morty, and I've only seen a few of them, but it's very good so far.
Is it quality?
I've been getting into that. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Quality.
It's if you're not used to Rick and Morty, um, get ready. If you're used to Rick and Morty, you kind of it's very much par for the course, but it's still a very good show.
Sweet. I started watching Endgame. What? Endgame? Is Endgame a Marvel show? No, Endgame.
Yeah, it's about
No, Endgame is a show with which was weird because it was started in Russia. I was like, oh no! During all the current events, I was like, that's weird.
yeah.
But it's basically a this queen bee kind of a lady who gets arrested. It was very much a Blacklist sort of a show, like if you're familiar with Blacklist. But it was what's her name from? I can't think of her name. She was in V, and she was she was also in she was in V and Firefly, but she's the queen bee, and she's got a whole criminal organization, and she's in custody, but she's actually in control while she's in custody, and they're
Ooh,
robbing a bunch of banks and stuff. And it looked like it was going to be really good. I'm gonna just hope that they're still setting up the foundation for this show because I was like, this is okay. You know what I mean? And I was
mhm.
hoping for like, hey, it was pretty good. I was like, this is okay. I like her. She's awesome. But I'm still waiting to see. But Endgame, it looks really good. It's on Hulu. It's an NBC or Peacock or Hulu. I don't know. It's an NBC show. But we'll see how that goes. What else did I watch? That's that's really about it. I started watching Picard. I talked about a bunch about that. I'm waiting for that to kick in.
Right.
I've watched Star Trek Discovery. I'm waiting for that to kick in. And but how about you guys in the chat? Anybody watching anything good out there that we need to be aware of? Anything new? Good. There's so many shows. It's so hard to keep up with everything.
Right.
Every week I look and I'm like, geez, there's like 15 shows I need to check out.
Yeah, I got Solar Opposites from one of the chat viewers, and I'm very glad I did. Uh, Netflix has Vikings Valhalla, which supposedly is
Oh,
very good. I
I
haven't checked that out. I love the original Vikings, but I haven't started that yet, and I've heard it's very very good.
it's really good. What the
Yeah,
heck?
the original Vikings was one of my favorite shows for a long time. It kind of tapers off at the end, once they kill Ragnar. But it's like history. It's a thing. It was made by the History Channel originally, and it was I mean, it's historically true. Well, as much as that stuff can be, which but yeah, I really enjoyed the original Vikings, and I do want to check this one out. I just haven't gotten a chance to check it out yet.
Morena Baccarin is who I'm talking about. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I do not. For Endgame.
Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to find a. Let me see if I can pull her up.
Yeah, the Vikings. Yes, yes, I agree, Sandra. Like those. I mean, Like I just love them. I really do. One thing that's interesting. So
This girl, this lady, I should say, call her a girl.
she's a lady.
Hold on.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. She's a lady.
No, maybe not.
Talking about a lady. And the lady is mine.
What were you gonna say, Curtis?
No, I was just gonna say one of my hobbies is genealogy. We've talked about before. Everybody or most like of the world has 1% of Asian in them due to Genghis Khan. However, at the same time, 1% of the world, uh, or most of the world has 1% of Scandinavian in them due to Vikings because of just conquering everywhere and doing what conquerors do. Sadly, and so yeah, even far flung countries have Scandinavian DNA in them.
Hey, do you know why Norwegian naval ships have barcodes on them?
I do not.
So they can Scandinavian.
Sn-
We lost Curtis. Okay, stop. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. He's back. Yep. Yeah, you didn't like that one?
Truth.
It's quality, dude. That is quality right there. Yes, sir. Truth. All right. Well, yeah. So, gang, there you go. There's something else I feel like I was watching. Apparently, it's not that good, or I would have remembered. So, yeah. So check out the Viking show, Endgame, Picard, and that's about it.
Solar opposites. Solar opposites. Check that
Solar
out.
Opposites, and that's our streaming update for the day. We're going to be talking about more Batman next week, and let's get into some.
Well, real quick. I
Yeah, what
did
you
want
got,
to
man?
ask you, I won't give you the rundown today, but I did want to ask you about the runtime. Okay, now because The Dark Knight is a very good movie.
Mm-hmm.
However, that was a 2.5. I just looked it up, and it was only 2.5 hours, and it felt long to me. Um, Now I've seen plenty of. Maybe it was the timing of that movie because movies are just longer nowadays. But how did the runtime feel? Because there were a few times in The Dark Knight with 2.5 hours, I got kind of bored,
I
and
never
I
got
still enjoy that movie.
I never got bored in this movie. Like they kept you going. Um, I felt like it could have been maybe 10 minutes shorter.
Hmm.
After sitting through it, it's like the first time
Right.
you don't know what to expect, so you're constantly like, and
Mhm.
I never got bored. But after seeing it, I said, you know what? They could have cut off about 10 minutes of that movie, and it would have been
Mhm.
okay. Which we're talking about. What is it, like a 2.5 of 3 hour movie? It's a long
Three
movie.
hours and 11 minutes.
Yeah,
3 hours and 11
it's
minutes.
long. So I think honestly, they could have probably been 3 hours and 11 minutes. Is that what it said?
That's what. Yeah, that's what I looked up. Yeah,
Yeah,
or
I
that's what
think
they.
I think 2 hours and 55 minutes could have worked. You know what I mean? There's some things that they did, I think that were tacked on that are to move you forward into the future of what that character or what's going on and is like into that universe so that you can have a trilogy maybe instead of it just being a standalone movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like you're like kind of conclude. It's one of those things where they kind of almost conclude the situation and you're like, okay, cool. We're about to wrap it up. And then some other stuff happens. And then you're like, oh, I thought it was over. And then you're like, okay. And they're like, okay, cool. Okay, there you go. Now we can go. And that's kind of the deal. It's like you get the movie, then you get a little extra. So
Okay.
But it was good. I mean, the whole thing was enjoyable.
That and the question that is on everyone's mind, mainly on mine. Does Danny DeVito make a cameo?
No, Danny DeVito does not make a cameo. He does not.
Well,
Unfortunately,
I'm not going to see it.
I
Forget it.
heard.
We're
I
done
heard.
here.
I heard Danny DeVito is going to be the new Wolverine in the Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness.
That would be amazing. That'd be
Danny
worth ticket
DeVito
price.
Wolverine would be completely amazing and kind of comics accurate.
Yeah, kind of.
In a weird way. Cool. Well, we should probably do a versus at some point about the Batman and then maybe the Dark Knight or something else, a different.
For sure.
Batman, we can compare them. We can maybe upgrade into like a newer Batcave.
Oh,
like that or something. Well, cool, man. Well, you want to get any news or anything you want to talk about before we start talking about the Wyatt Earp and Tombstone?
No, like I said, I think we're waiting on a lot of shows. We're kind of in between, and yeah, these guys they watch a bunch of westerns. They're talking about Clint Eastwood westerns too. Like, yeah,
Hell yeah.
I loved a lot of those. And like, you know, this and talking about Mandalorian and stuff. Like, I'm really kind of in a western itch right now. They haven't had. I do want to watch 1883, like we talked about.
Dude, it's really good.
What's it on?
It's on Paramount Plus.
Damn. See,
another one. You gotta get another one.
Yeah. And Yellowstone.
Yellowstone
I
is
heard
on.
Yellowstone's good.
I think Yellowstone's on Hulu or Peacock.
Yeah, I heard good things about that one too.
And the first 3 seasons is on one, and then you get to the next. Sorry, I'm looking at an image up here, and I was like, whoa, it just freaked me out. There's a guy named Boots Sutherland who's in this movie that looks like an old Gene Hackman, and he's next to a picture of Gene Hackman. So I was just like, whoa.
Bobby says Yellowstone is on Hulu.
Is on
Thank
Hulu.
You,
So yeah, you can get the first 3 seasons.
Okay, great. That's great.
Yeah, you get the first 3 seasons on Hulu, and then the 4th season I think is available on Netflix. I'm not sure, I'm not certain, but no, I think the 4th season is available on Paramount Plus, and so is 1883. So you can get started on Yellowstone on Hulu and then jump over to Paramount Plus. Good times.
But yeah, this has really got me. Like, we've been kind of in a Western, famine for a while, and I'm glad we redid these, and it just makes me want more.
Yeah, I heard too. They're gonna be doing more more years in this universe. So they're gonna be it'll be like 1911, well, or something. They'll be doing other.
Well, hell yeah,
which is cool.
Awesome.
Like I think that's real cool. It'd be 1983. Absolutely. No, they're not gonna do 19. It's like Back to the Future. What?
That's called Stranger Things, dude. They already did that.
Hell yeah. Well, let's see. Well, all right, let's jump back to the let's jump back.
Gotta go back in time.
Baker versus Baker. Talking about Wyatt Earp and Tombstone. So Tombstone, let's see what the synopsis. Wyatt Earp, Kurt Russell, and his brothers Morgan and Virgil have left their gunslinger ways behind them to settle down and start a business in the town of Tombstone, Arizona. While they aren't looking to find trouble, trouble soon finds them when they become targets of the Apple Dumpling Gang. Just kidding. Targets of the Ruthless Cowboy Gang. Now together with Wyatt's best friend, Doc Holliday, the brothers pick up their guns once more to restore order to a lawless land. Now, I'm curious to hear what the description of Wyatt Earp is. The epic biography of Western lawman Wyatt Earp, who at an early age is taught that nothing matters more than family and the law. He becomes a respected sheriff in Dodge City and Tombstone, joined by his brothers and Doc Holliday. Earp wages war on the dreaded Clanton and McClory gangs. Okay, at least the description was different. Um, what did you think? And after watching both of those, which one is your favorite? Which one do you like better?
Tombstone. I mean, but as we both talked about, I hadn't seen White Earp. Tombstone has been my favorite. Tombstone is still my favorite, but I'm very glad that I watched White Earp. It cleared up a lot of things that were weird for me in Tombstone, or that I didn't quite understand. Um, and about the character and just the situation.
Like
Um,
like what? Like
well, like in Tombstone, I always kind of thought like because Wyatt Earp's a stand-up guy. He's kind of this heroic character and stuff, and then he's running off with and it's like his wife's kind of a drug addict,
yeah,
uh, and uh, and he's running off with the
the actress?
actress lady, yeah, and you're like, I understand, you gotta follow love, and then it's like, but you're kind of being a scumbag, dude.
Yeah.
However, in Wyatt Earp, when you realize like she kind of knew the situation from the beginning, he cared for her, but he didn't love her, and they weren't married. They were just common law married, apparently. From what I even looked it up, I was like, was that his wife?" And it's still like unclear in history, but like
Yeah.
they were definitely common law married. Um, and that makes more sense now that or that portrayal, let's say, I don't, makes more sense to me than the Tombstone one did, because it kind of made him seem like a shithead whenever he's a hero throughout
Yeah.
the whole. Even whenever I was younger, I was like, yeah, that's still, but like, try to get your wife some help, dude. Like, and she was terrible to him, but she was an addict. Like, of
Yeah.
course, addicts are going to be terrible to you. Um, but and then some other stuff too, like uh, well, I don't know if that was with the story, but yeah, I don't know, but like it was obviously a very expanded movie. It was 3.5 hours. Wyatt Earp was, whereas Tombstone was more self-contained and just
Yeah,
more
yeah, it's 2 hours and
explosive,
14 minutes.
or yeah, yeah, and it to me it still doesn't feel like that either. It feels like an hour and a half movie. Tombstone does, and it's just so much more fun. So much the portrayals were great in both. Um, but Tombstone just kind of wins out.
I agree. Well, it's funny. Is going back and watching that movie, uh, it felt campier. I mean, I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Tombstone.
Tombstone felt campier. I felt like it felt like more of an intense, realistic movie. The same way, I don't know. Yeah, I don't even have a comparison, but like when I watched it again today, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that it feels like a campier movie, and it didn't feel like that when I was younger. It's strange. I really enjoyed Kevin Costner's Wyatt Earp. I
Mm-hmm.
like that they showed his upbringing, and it showed his first marriage. It showed a lot of his growing up, his first fight. He throws a pool ball at that guy and
Yeah.
disarms him without actually having to hurt him or really fight him. Um,
Uh-huh.
and I just thought it was cool. And when you read up on him on White Earp, he was never even grazed by a bullet his entire
Yeah,
his
that's what I
entire
thought was
career.
cool.
Career,
Yeah.
yeah, which is incredible that he was a badass and getting into fights and
Mhm.
you know he was such a force to be
Yeah.
reckoned with. He had such a reputation. He never even got grazed by a bullet, and which is crazy. Um,
Yeah, that's the thing. I think I might enjoy Tombstone more, but that's things like Kevin Costner, or I'm sorry, Kurt Russell. Even whenever I was younger, it did parts of it may have felt a little bit campy, like because even like Kurt Russell, because and it's not camp. be like that I felt when I was younger. But he played Kurt Russell, and we love Kurt Russell because he plays Kurt Russell.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and Kevin Costner's was much more stoic, and I don't know if that's how Wyatt Earp was or not. But it would seem like much more of an individual portrayal, whereas Kevin Costner kind of played Kevin Costner as Wyatt Earp, and
Yeah.
it was still fucking amazing. Still a great job, but um, yeah, that just and at the same time too, like with Kevin Costner being so stoic, like whenever the scenes with the actress uh didn't work. Whereas in Tombstone they did. It looked like two real people, like, enjoying each other's company.
In Tombstone?
Whereas with Kevin Costner, yeah, in Tombstone. So comparing, like, Kevin Costner may have seemed more like a very stoic Wyatt Earp that you would imagine. However, like in Tombstone, but his relationship, I'm sorry, Kevin Costner's relationship with the actress in Wyatt Earp, like, was just so dead in the water. I thought, like like she loved him, he loved her, but I couldn't understand why. Whereas in Tombstone, it's like they showed chemistry that was
Right.
like, I could understand why these people would like one another.
Well, they had
Um,
chemistry in with Kevin Costner. It's like he was taken with her when he first saw her. You know what I mean?
mhm.
They both of them were. It's just weird. Like they make it look more like a fairy tale in the Tombstone version. It's way more of a fairy tale. You know what I mean? And where
Well,
in the White Earp version, it's like this is a troubled guy who never got over his ex-wife who died, and he's into her.
that's
He's into her.
go
He's
ahead.
also angry about the other guy taking nude photos, and like that they really do a
Mhm,
good job of painting that guy as a douchebag, and like
mhm.
and he's protective of her, and then he like falls for her, and clearly he's into her, but he's also uh he's still got the demons in him of the same thing that made him steal horses and stuff that you don't know about him when he was younger. You know what I mean? It's like he's got baggage. That dude's got baggage, and he just happens to be so pissed off and doesn't care to where
Right.
he'll go up to somebody who's causing trouble because he doesn't. I feel like he doesn't care if he's around tomorrow, which is something that's interesting. You know what I mean? What
No,
are you
that's
gonna?
a perfect point.
Yeah,
No, that yeah, you just made a point because, like, and that's what I was kinda trying to think of earlier, whenever I was like, there was something else, uh, and you feel in Tombstone, you feel like he doesn't care about, his wife, but in Wyatt Earp, you realize that's his second wife who's not really his wife because he loved his first wife so much. Like, you get that backstory and it makes, sense, and I'm not saying, people can't, but, like, he tells her from the get go what the deal is and stuff like that. And that's the same thing too. Like, it expresses, although, and I think Dennis Quaid did a great job in Wyatt Earp. I mean, a great job as Doc Holliday. But it's just not somehow not as good as Val Kilmer's. Um, but at the same time, you get the relationship, like just like you were saying, like he's like, I'm ready to die. I don't fucking care if I die or not. And so his friendship with Doc Holliday makes so much more sense because Doc Holliday is going to die. Doc Holliday doesn't care because he's like, I'm going to die. And then you've got Wyatt Earp who's like, I don't care if I die. Love's been taken out of my life. Like, I don't care if I die. Even though he's gotten better, he's upholding the law, he's doing all these good things. But to a degree, until he meets that actress, he's like, "I don't care if I die or not." Like,
yeah,
who that's like, and so their relationship or their friendship makes so much more sense because they're both guys who are like, kinda like, "Fuck it," for different reasons, and, like, it expresses that so much more. Now Tombstone shows the relationship better, I think, but yes, Wyatt Earp, like, it makes much more sense of as with what's going on with these characters or these real people.
dude, and I'm on the fence. I would have never, ever, ever,
Mhm.
ever thought that I would say anybody did as good of a job on Doc Holliday as Val Kilmer, but Dennis
But
Quaid, holy crap, dude! Like I'm
yeah.
not. I don't know if I'm gonna say I like him better, but it's a different take, and like Val Kilmer is just so cool, and in like he's so
Yeah.
cool, it's a slicker portrayal of Doc Holliday. Now you get into Dennis Quaid. Dude lost 40 pounds for that role.
Hmm.
He
He
wanted to
looked.
look like a guy who was dying, and he does. And he also plays it so intense, and he's a diehard, like, you're my friend, I'm your friend, like, we're buddies, I'm in all the way. And he's like, his portrayal is incredible. And I'm surprised I never saw this movie. And like, I can't give Dennis Quaid enough props for how he portrayed. And I think it's not it's not fair to Dennis Quaid
No.
how good Val Kilmer, and cool though. This is like Val Kilmer's portrayal is more of a Raiders of the Lost Ark, Steven Spielberg,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, cool character that's like not real. It's like he's and he does have his moments where he is real and he's sick and he does a good job, but half of
Hmm.
the time he's so smooth. He's a Quentin Tarantino Val Kilmer. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
He's cool. Like, and Dennis Quaid is just real, and it's like a more
Yes.
real portrayal, I feel. Even though Val Kilmer's is real, there's moments where you see his sickness and all that. It's hard to
Hmm.
explain. It's just like the way they portrayed that character was so cool
Yep.
that, like, from the twirling of the cup
Yeah.
instead of the gun, and I'm your Huckleberry, and all these lines
And
that are just classic, like if I could be like, I want to be that.
yeah,
That's the
for
Doc
sure.
Holiday I want to be for Halloween. That one. You know what I mean? And then the other one was just like, holy shit, he did a great job. That's like a Daniel Day Lewis version of Doc Holiday that you know what I mean,
Hmm.
that Dennis Quaid did,
Yeah.
where Val Kilmer did the cool, fun version. If
No, that's exactly right. And Andrew says Quaid was buggy eyed and stuff like that, and like, and that's absolutely true. Like that's like he looked like fucking like Val Kilmer was sweaty and pale and stuff like that, and he looked sick. But Dennis, like, even watching the movie, I was like, I don't even want to see Dennis Quaid. He looks like fucking death.
he
Like he looks
lost
like a
40
zombie. Like
pounds. He
and
spoke out
like
recent. He spoke out recently where he was saying that people think only women have issues with eating disorders, and he said that he basically developed anorexia during the 90s when he was doing that role. He wanted to look sick, and he ended up with like
oh wow,
anorexia. He ended up in a dangerous place where he was able to pull himself back, but it was like, he's like, guys can get eating disorders, guys
yeah.
get anorexia too. He's like, look, and holy shit, that was 40 pounds. That's why he looks so bad.
I couldn't imagine like but and at the same time, like that's the thing. So I mean, Val Kilmer wins for me, for sure. But like the thing is, it comes down to like at the end when he kills Johnny Ringo. Like I was waiting the whole movie just to see that again. Like, come on, Johnny, come on, like and he kills Johnny Ringo. Like but we don't know that it happened that way. And if you remember, or I specifically noticed when I was watching Wyatt Earp, and he goes Johnny Ringo, and he shot him. So we know Doc Holliday killed Johnny Ringo. Like that
Yeah.
must be historical fact. But we don't know how it happened. And he just went bam and shot him in the Wyatt Earp movie. But the one in the Tombstone was so dramatic and so badass that it's like it's gonna win. But yeah, Dennis Quaid did a bang up job. I mean, he really killed it. And I wasn't like what I was thinking. Like I'm gonna be watching this whole movie, going, "I wish Val Kilmer was in this." I really wasn't. Like
No.
I didn't say, hey, you know, it was a very good movie. Um, we also need to address the fact that Bill Pullman was in Wyatt Earp and Bill Paxton was in Tombstone.
Yes, that does need to be addressed. Bill Pullman and Bill
He
Paxton.
played, yeah, Bill Pullman played Ed Masterson in Wyatt Earp, which is a different character, and Bill Paxton played Morgan Earp in Tombstone. So they're different characters. However, at the same time, we still have the Pullman versus Paxton
There's another
battle royale.
there's another confusion black hole that should be discussed, and that's that we had Tom Sizemore and Michael Madsen in the same movie. How do
Who
you
are the
have
same? And uh, yeah, I was like, who the hell's who? Like, half that, like what?
That's right,
The
guys. We
stupidest
had
casting role.
Tom Sizemore and fucking Michael Madsen in the same movie.
Yeah,
Come on.
we had fake Michael Madsen and real Michael Madsen in the same movie,
Did
and it
you
was like,
notice
what?
that?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Like, what's the fucking point here? Like, what? Like, and
It's
they weren't even playing the brothers. They weren't even related. Like,
no, they
one
could have
was
been. They
Batman.
could have made them brothers.
Yeah,
That would have been
I
that would have
know.
been perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah. Like, how does that happen? Like, there's a weird paradox. Like, dude, and yeah, Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton, they should have cast them as the same guy. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. Well, they almost like that's the thing too with the Bean, Sheriff Bean, or yeah, the sheriff. That was on the cowboy side
Yeah.
in both movies. On the bad guy side, basically the pretty boy sheriff. Like they almost cast that. I couldn't tell you which one was which, honestly, because he was such a like greasy, like pretty boy, like sheriff. Like they almost cast the same guy. I guess I couldn't tell you.
No, he looked
Um,
completely different. I'm looking for him. Where the hell
Hello,
is he?
Kazakhs. Thank you for coming, sir.
Yeah. Pullman versus Paxton. Sizemore versus Madsen. What a good versus that would be. Yeah, that was
Well,
really I had to like rewind. I go, no, he's skinning Buffalo. That's not his brother. For a minute I was
yeah,
like,
it's not.
wait,
Yeah,
what?
exactly.
Oh, it's funny. I made a mental note that I wanted to definitely have to address this.
And I want so I do want to look up some historical stuff because so in Tombstone they've got Texas Jack and Creek what's his name, they've got him helping him out, but in Wyatt Earp it was just he and Doc, so I don't know if they just focused on he and Doc, or um they don't know who helped kill what or this or that. So and that was and to my main issue with Wyatt Earp, besides the fact that I've loved Tombstone my whole life, so I'm a little bit biased,
You're a little
but
bit biased.
is yeah, is that the whole point of the movie is that, or a major theme of the movie is that the stories are better. They say that several times. They tell in Wyatt Earp's like, I don't know if that's how, or that's not how that happened, or like I don't know if that's how that happened. And then like, the stories are better.
The legends are better than the
Yeah,
way they really went
yeah.
down. And that happens.
And then Tombstone told the legend.
Mhm.
Like, that's what I mean. So it's like Tombstone wins. Like Tombstone told the legend. Wyatt Earp told the history. And so just Tombstone wins because yes, the legends, the stories are going to be more dramatic, more built up and stuff like that. And so it just like that's why it won. But they shouldn't have made that a theme of Wyatt Earp. Like if that's what they were
It
doing.
was interesting though, like the brother gets shot on the pool table. I'm like, okay, I guess that's how it really happened. You got sick Doc Holliday, and they're like, here, put this shotgun under your long coat. And I'm like, I guess that really
Yeah.
happened. It would happen in both movies, Um,
Right, right. And that's what I mean. Like they use. So I did look it up a little bit. Like they use several different eyewitness accounts, and stuff like that. Um, and part of it was that because they did go to trial for the OK Corral stuff. So part of it was like witness testimony of the trial and stuff like that. But
Big
uh,
Big Nose Kate was way better looking in Tombstone too.
yeah, she did not have a big nose at all, and they never like like so. Um, And I thought the lady from Tombstone too, like in Wyatt Earp, the other girl was very pretty, but like that girl from East of Eden that we had talked about before that was traumatizing for us both as at a young age.
Which
You remember the girl that played the actress in Tombstone?
Oh yeah, she's.
She was the girl from East of Eden, which was the Rosie O'Donnell and
Oh
Dan
yeah,
Aykroyd
she's in East of Eden. Her name
softcore
is
porn.
Dana Delani.
Yeah, I think she's gorgeous,
Oh
though,
yeah.
and I can't believe she hadn't been in more stuff.
Oh, I mean, Joanna Going is the one who plays her in Wyatt Earp, and she's gorgeous too. I thought, um,
I agree,
yeah,
but
just
I
different
just
looks.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Just completely different looks.
Hello.
Oh, we got
We also have Amanda Jimenez in the chat. How
Jimenez.
are you? Well, normally it's Jimenez, but for her it's Jimenez.
All right. Hello,
Um,
Bakers. Hello, Bobby. Says Kaz. We got Cosner was playing Dances with Wolves. Man, I really got to go back and
yes.
watch Yellowstone now. Yes, sir. Okay, so we've covered Doc Holliday. Who do you think's a better Wyatt Earp?
Uh, See that I really don't know, man. Because that's the thing. Like to me, um, Kurt Russell was playing Kurt Russell, like as Wyatt Earp, but it was more entertaining. However, but let's be honest, Costner plays a lot of stoic characters too, so he could have been playing Costner, and um, I think they both did very well. Um, and maybe it's because I love Kurt Russell. I've seen Kurt Russell in tons of movies. That he couldn't necessarily pull off a different character or that different character for me. But I don't know, man. I really
Dude,
that's a good question.
I'll never I'll never stop loving the scene where he goes up to Billy Bob Thornton and
Oh
and
God,
and just slaps him in the face. He bitch slaps him like
yeah.
like 3 times. Uh and
Billy Bob might steal the show in the first like 30 minutes or whatever that is. Like
he
he puts it.
does. And
Thank you,
then
sir.
and
He
then
puts the shotgun down.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Now Johnny Tyler, where are you going with that shotgun? And then he ends up standing there for a long time, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know. I forgot you were
I
there.
forgot
You
you.
are dismissed." And leave your gun. And he says, "I had to rewind it because for a second I thought what I thought that Kurt Russell said thank you, sir." And then I go, no, Billy Bob Thornton said that. And I rewound it. I'm like, and he gave him his own gun and then thanked him and went
Yeah,
away
yeah.
like
I'm not
defeated.
dead. Thank you.
Thank you, and left. And I was
Yeah.
like, gosh, that's such a good scene. That whole thing, uh, was so good. Now that was amazing. But I like after watching them both, I think I'm gonna have to go with Kevin Costner's version. He was
I
just
kind of think so too. Go
he's
ahead. Sorry.
tormented and
Yeah.
he's like a broken dude that is just plain mean. You know what I mean? And you don't get that necessarily. Like Kurt Russell is a stern, tough guy
Hmm.
that is almost a little bit dumb and clumsy. Almost, it's like he gets bamboozled
Right.
by the actress, and he's just bumbling through town and doesn't want to get mixed up into this thing. And to where like now I look at him like he's just he's trying to be the good guy. I don't want to be a sheriff anymore. And
Mhm.
and like oh, look at this girl. Hey,
The
you
reluctant
sure are
hero, you know.
you sure are a lady. Yeah, nope.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm not interested. I'm here to make money. And it's very like a lot campier where you get to Kevin Costner and he's like a messed up dude. Like he's like
Yeah, very
and
much,
and
very much. Yes.
and like his walking in front of a group of people by himself is a different version. You know what I mean? Of
That's what I'm
it.
saying. Like he didn't care that he died. He didn't like, he was like, yeah, my love's dead. I don't fucking care if I die. And whereas Kurt Russell, like it was, you didn't, that wasn't portrayed. It was the
Yeah.
same character, but it wasn't portrayed like that.
Yeah, it's more
You
like,
know,
hey, I don't know, make a little
yeah,
bit of money, settle down, maybe have some kids.
yeah.
That's just kind of how it. Not Kevin Costner. Kevin Costner was a tormented
Well,
character.
yeah. And Angie says he burned down his house, and like that's I can see myself doing that. Like I like it, something like that happens. Like
Yeah.
shit, I don't know how, and that's the thing. His dad instilling that stuff into him, like you understand why he became a lawman, and you understand why it was all those three brothers together, more so. I mean, besides the fact that you're brothers, of course,
Yeah.
but like you understand stuff like that more. And like I said, you understand, him not caring about living, and then Doc about to die anyway. Like their friendship being so much stronger, you understand those bonds so much more in the Wyatt Earp movie. Um,
You know,
and
I'm looking at the
no,
crit.
just go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think I might be leaning to agreeing with you that Kevin Costner did a better portrayal of Earp.
It's I would have never in a million years thought,
Mhm.
because I hold Tombstone up in the
Yeah.
same folder as Shawshank Redemption. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's a
Yeah,
masterpiece
for
of
sure.
a film. Um, and holy crap, man! And those all those characters are so good. Sam Elliott is amazing
Mhm.
in that
That's why
movie.
Tombstone wins. You got a Western movie and you don't have Sam Elliott in it, you're just being stupid. Like, like it's just stupid
And Johnny Ringo, I mean, dude, Johnny Ringo
for
is
sure.
amazing. Like he's
Mhm,
amazing in that movie.
mhm.
Um, Bill Paxton and Bill Pullman. There's no. I was looking at the cast, and it's funny because you have Frank Stallone is in this movie, and I didn't know where he's from. Sylvester's
In what?
he's in Tombstone. I don't know what he played, but he was in there.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I'll have to go. I gotta watch it again now. Crap.
Crap. Um. Yeah. There's a lot of characters in these movies. There's
Well, no, and I did rewatching. I did notice Sandman was in it. What's his name?
yeah. Yep. Yep.
Sandman was in it, and Nikki. What's her name? Nikki Collette. She was just in a new Netflix movie, Pieces of Her or something like that. Colette. Her last name's Colette, but she's in it in a very small scene. Yeah, Tombstone's one of those movies for 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon
Yeah.
that you can kind of like jump to as well because everybody's in that.
Yeah. Thomas Hayden Church is who you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got like Billy Bob Thornton. We talked about him. He was amazing.
Hmm.
There's so many people in these movies. Michael Rooker is in it too.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I noticed him too. Yeah.
Yeah, you look around, you'd be like, "Oh crap! I never noticed that." And there's a lot there was actresses that the one that played Allie Earp, the Irish actress. I've seen her in a whole bunch of stuff. Paula Malcolmson. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but it was one of the
I know
brothers'
who you're talking about, but
wives.
yeah.
Yeah, she was the one. She yelled it at Kurt Russell at one point. Um,
Hmm.
but anyway, yeah, such a good movie. If you guys haven't seen either of these movies, you should go check them out. And
Absolutely. And it was weird too watching like dealing with watching it in the context of all the Marvel stuff that we've been talking about for ad nauseum. But
yeah,
I still enjoy it. But like multiverse stuff, like I don't know, maybe we should do that because it was like living in an alternate universe because I hadn't seen it before, and I'm like, like what is like this is like some different Tombstone universe,
yeah.
like it was just weird, like I was like, this is still good, but it's different. I don't know, like what's happening here, the
Is that
variant
Mephisto?
of Doc Holliday. Yeah, yeah.
uh,
That bean guy is Mephisto. If anybody's Mephisto, it's that bean guy, the sheriff, the crooked sheriff or whatever.
how about the dude? How about the dude? The Cobra Kai sensei. Seeing
Oh yeah, he's the
he's the
guy who
one.
got hit and thrown by the ball. Yeah,
Yeah, he's the one that punches
right.
punches Kevin Costner because he cost him money or something, and then tries to pick a fight. He gets hit with the cue ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, dude, dickhead from Karate Kid.
I didn't realize that until you said it. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
Martin Kove is that actor's name. But yeah, he's in Cobra Kai and Karate Kid, and he's the guy. And I was like, who the hell is that dude? He looks really familiar. And then I was like, oh crap, it's what's his face?
It seems like that was like those movies are so far apart, but they're probably like 10 years apart. I don't know, something like that at the max.
Karate
Like
Kid?
because I didn't Karate Kid and Wyatt Earp. So Karate Kid was probably Wyatt Earp was 93.
Karate Kid was 1984, and then and Wyatt Earp was it's 10 years later, 1994.
Boom, boom goes the
Yeah.
dynamite. Uh, but it seems they just seem like Karate Kid, because watched it when I was so much younger. Like seems like it was so long ago, and then like Wyatt Earp, I guess because I hadn't seen it, it was like, yeah, this movie's not that old, But it's like, yes, it's like,
Yeah, it is.
yeah, it is.
Man, what other good Western movies are there? There's Unforgiven.
And there's one that I was trying to remember when I was watching that. I won't, or I'll go into it in a minute. But Silverado, and they've redone it a few times. I think the mini series is what I remember, but uh, and I've got it on like 2 DVDs or something like that. But Silverado is always a good one. Like I've seen like the movie version of it and then the mini series, Fistful of Dollars.
Yeah.
Outlaw Josie Wales is like one of my
And
favorites.
I'm talking like those are 80s. I'm trying to get into more recent. Like what are some more recent
More
westerns?
310 to Yuma was okay,
Yeah,
but
there
that's
you
not
go.
even recent. It's 2000s, but it's not.
That's
I don't know
recent.
how
I'm
but
just talking about
yeah.
not super old.
Um,
Um, and I'll say anything after The Unforgiven, which is a long time
was
ago, but Unforgiven was one of the
yeah,
latter.
that's probably the Lonesome Dove. But yeah, that's the thing too with Lonesome Dove. There's so many versions of it too. I kind of enjoy them all, but I can't remember which one I like the best. But there was one with the man. It was the brothers. And he got one of them got shot in the face, but it bounced off a tooth, so he lived.
I never saw
Man,
that. That's crazy.
oh man, yeah, and it was a big old shootout. Man, what was it? What brothers was it? Oh
310 to
well, they
Yuma.
did.
Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah, I saw it. It was pretty good. But it wasn't. I don't know. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't anything super spectacular in my opinion. But like, because it had Robert Duvall, I think it had
Uh,
Christian Bale
Christian Bale. It had
or
Christian Bale.
Christian, yeah, and it was good. But it wasn't anything super spectacular. But it was like the most recent good one that I remember. Um, and shoot, um, I mean, we talk about Young
What do
Guns
you
again.
call it when Batman skips church?
I don't know.
Christian Bale.
What do you call it?
Christian Bale. I muted you. Oh boy. Oh no. I muted you again. We're not having that sound. Oh boy. Oh
That's
man,
pretty
that
good.
was rough, dude.
It's all your fault.
I know I did that. Oh boy. There you go.
But yeah, I was trying to think. I can't remember those brothers. It was because of the famous Cowboys. Obviously, we got Billy the Kid. We got. I hadn't seen the Jesse James movies. Remember a couple years ago they came out with competing Jesse James movies. I
I
never saw either of them
I don't
though.
know which movies you're talking about.
There was a
There's
Brad Pitt one, like, or there was one called Jesse James, and then there was like one called The Coward Who Killed Jesse James.
Was one of
and
them like a Hallmark TV movie and the other one like a real theater movie, or were they both like
I
legit
I
movies?
think they both went to theaters. I think they both went to theaters.
Wow. I'm gonna have to look that
But
up. We might when we have a dead week, we might have to go
yeah.
and do those because those are these were fun. What's
Well,
up,
yeah,
James? That James guy?
hello. James doesn't like westerns though,
Nope.
so they don't have cowboys in Canada. I'm a Canada boy on a steel horse I ride. I'm just trying to goad him.
I know.
But um yeah, it was I was trying to think of famous gunfighters that it could be um and I mean, it was a big famous one, and it was one of my favorites. I just can't remember. And that's the thing too. Like your parents or my parents, my dad made me watch a lot of these, and at the time I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta watch a stupid Western movie. I could be watching, Aliens or sci-fi,
Yeah.
or something." And like, now it's like, "Fuck, I want to watch that." I'm trying to get my kids, "Hey, come watch this cowboy movie with me. Like, let's go."
Yeah.
They're like, "No, I don't want to watch that." Like,
Let's
you
watch
know,
I do love that the Mandalorian has that Western vibe to it. You know what I mean? It's cool.
I really agree. And that's the thing too. Like, we go back to. I mean, I don't know. I said this on one of the early shows. Like, I think, like, getting Middle Eastern culture, I'm not into like our mixing those cultures would be perfect because the Old West to me nowadays really
Oh
seems
yeah.
like what's going on in some Middle Eastern countries where it is a frontier, it is and like portraying these heroes not in a bad light, not as terrorists and stuff like that,
Right, right.
and giving them you know, a Western story with a Middle Eastern. I'm not saying overload their culture with our Western,
I mean, but you don't mean like
stuff, but
wearing chaps and having six shooters,
yeah, no,
you're
but
talking about their
yeah,
version?
yeah, because if you can do it with a space opera like Mandalorian, and that's the thing, like after watching Mandalorian, it made it to me, it proved the point to myself. Of course, we'll just I wonder how easy that was, but even further so is that if you can make a space freaking movie feel like a western, taking their culture and adapting it to what we know as westerns made perfect sense to me before, and now it's like we don't have to overload it with like Americanism. We can still do a western in their culture, in their vein, respecting their culture and beliefs, and it will can bring you know, our idea of heroism to this culture and these characters and help integrate things better. I mean, that's what movies do. Like, I'm sorry, but that's what movies do. You know, um, Sadly, we exploit them first and then we understand them. Like, I wish it wasn't that way, but that's how it is. And like, I just think the best avenue for that is westerns.
Yeah. That's another one, Magnificent Seven.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, start writing the
That
script, Curtis. Get researching.
I mean, it's like I can't write that though because I'm not that's not my culture. I don't want to like I don't want to. I can write a western, but I can't like that's what I mean. Like I was whenever I worked at U of H, I was thinking about like contacting the student Muslim or whatever, but I was like I don't know. I don't want to. Hey, I'm a white guy. Let me tell you how to make something. Like I don't want to do that. Like, but I just think it was like it's the perfect mixture. You know. Um,
Well, okay. We've met James. You missed a whole bunch. We were discussing. We were discussing how you had Tom and Wyatt Earp. You had Tom Sizemore and Michael Madsen in the same movie on the same. What the hell is going on? Uh, you had Bill Paxton in one of them, and you had Bill Pullman in the other, causing a hole in this time space continuum.
mhm.
It was
Yep.
interesting. Oh, he was shoveling snow. That's right. You could do a Western show, but it actually be about the Mounties.
That actually would be pretty cool too. Instead of sand, you got snow everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, you could yeah, you could pull it off because I mean, the one of the main things about westerns is, like, the climate is as dangerous as, like, the people, you know? And, like, you could pull some of that off too. I agree with that.
Yes, sir. Well, what's going to be our next thing to versus? What do you guys out
Well,
there want to see us put up against each other? We just did Tombstone versus Wyatt Earp. So overall, which one are you going to say was a better movie?
I mean, I still
And
gotta
there's
go with Tombstone.
there's a lot of ways to judge a movie, so it's interesting. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
I still gotta go with Tombstone. Like, it besides the fact that I've loved it forever, my wife was watching Wide Open with me. She watched about the first 30 minutes. She was like, "I'm going to bed." Like, it does take a while to get going, um, but, and that's the thing, it never really gets going to the level of Tombstone, but it's just a different type of movie. Um, but, Tombstone, better movie, but, I mean, honestly, watch them both together, like, it really influenced it made the whole story better to watch both. Um, and I still like, I'm not a historian, I don't know which one, I assume the Kevin Costner one was more historically accurate just because it was longer, honestly. But, um, like, both watching both together really enhances the story.
Dude, I agree with you. But I'll say like Tombstone is an entertainment masterpiece. Is how
Yes.
I'll put it. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
The same way that the whole Indiana Jones and the Quest for the Holy Grail is an entertainment masterpiece. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like when we get into
You're
start
not
talking.
gonna be bored. Yeah.
No, not at all. It's entertaining the whole way through. The lines are clever and fun, and there's interesting characters, well cast with amazing actors everywhere. The other one is darker. It's more intense. It's you really like the characters. There's some great actors in the other one too. So it's
For
really
sure. For
it's a
sure.
really tough thing because you're comparing two different kinds of movies,
Mhm.
and like the other one, Kevin Costner is less like a fun Indiana Jones kind of a adventure with quick easy laughs or smirks or uh, st- stimulus to your brain where and it's more like a like There Will Be Blood from like
Mhm.
Daniel Day-Lewis movie, like
Yeah.
it's telling a story that's serious and stuff, and it's a way more serious movie. Two different kinds of movie. I don't even think you should compare them. And again, I think
But
that
you have to when you we kinda have to
you
be,
have
you
to when
know?
they're the same story, sort of. You know, it's just funny. And again, I think Dennis Quaid got robbed because
You really did.
if Val Kilmer wasn't playing such an amazing, well written, every line in that script is gold. Like every one liner he has is gold, and Dennis Quaid did such an amazing job at Doc Holliday. I feel like he got robbed, and I wonder if he's bitter. Like how do you play the role as good as he played it? He played it so stinking good, and like I wouldn't know whether to be mad or high five Val Kilmer or be mad at him. Like, is he bitter that he stole his thunder?
Yeah.
I want to do the. I don't actually want to do the research. I just want a quick answer. But
I want somebody
I want to know if they started production on Wyatt Earp first, and then Tombstone came in and made the movie faster and released it before they could. If that's the
Yeah.
case, holy crap, I would be a bitter Dennis Quaid. You know what I mean? Because I got to be bitter because
Yeah. Hell yeah.
you can't beat Val Kilmer in that role, but you almost could, and that's
Yeah,
Dennis
and Dennis
Quaid.
Quaid is as good as anybody. I mean, honestly, and like as any good as any person could. I will say too with Wyatt Earp, um, and this is an issue that we got since we got James here that he had with a lot of the Boba Fett's and stuff like that. Um, and I honestly didn't notice it as much in Boba Fett. Maybe I've just become used to it, but like, uh, it was very clean for a Western. Like I did notice it in Wyatt Earp. Like they'd be walking in from sandstorms and stuff like that, or no, not sandstorm, but you know, and like everything was so
Are
clean.
you talking
Like
about Wyatt Earp?
about Wyatt Earp,
Okay.
yeah, and the same thing may have happened in Tombstone. However, I've seen it a bazillion times, so I just didn't notice it as much. Um, but everything was much more clean in Wyatt Earp. And I was kind of like, this doesn't seem like a dirty Western, isn't that? The people, definitely the people were grimier and dirtier in Tombstone, like fucking Ike. Oh God, I can't believe, and it's history, but I can't
Who is
believe they didn't.
Ike?
Law don't come around here, law dog. Law don't come around here, law dog.
Is that the guy that dipped his head in the water trough right before the OK Corral?
Yes,
He's the one
yes,
that ran off, right?
and ran off 3 times and got away, and then yeah, they didn't end up killing him, and then
he's the one who
but
should
it's
have gotten
history. Like
killed.
I was like, I can't believe exactly kill that some bitch.
They should have got him. Yeah, that guy. He was just grimy and gross. Like, he's the one who slapped the bartender.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Kurt Russell cut with his spur. I love that. And that's the thing too. Like you just can't be that. Hell's coming with me. You called down the thunder, and now you got it. Like you just can't beat that. Like I don't know if it's the right, like it's the writing. I guess, but like I mean, and that's the thing. History's not going to beat that because Wyatt Earp was probably just like, get the hell out of here, Ike. Like in real life, but like, like, oh yeah.
Dude,
So
Tombstone versus Back to the Future. It's on. Back to the Future 3.
but well, I know that we had so I was thinking Armageddon and Deep Rising because those were kind of the same idea. But I don't know. I've never seen Deep Rising as well. I've seen Armageddon. It doesn't hold a place in my heart like Tombstone, but I've seen it several times. I'd actually enjoy I kind of want to rewatch it because it was like cheesy then, so I can't imagine how cheesy it would be now. Um But I know that people wanted us to do Judge Dredd versus
Yeah,
Demolition Man.
Deep Impact versus Armageddon is the
What did I
two.
say? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Batman 1989 versus Batman Begins.
We can do it in this. Do you want to do it in this Bat Cave that we're in now, or do you want to do it in this Bat Cave?
Oh.
Quit leaning
Power
so
Stone.
you quit leaning so
What
far forward, it cuts your face off and ruins the illusion that we're in the Bat Cave. If you go the other way. Oh no. See?
I don't know. I don't see it.
Hey, I'm talking about
But we
this.
are in the Batcave. There's no
No,
illusion that we're
but
in the Batcave.
where's my hand? Oh, there it
It's
is.
It's the Batcave. There's powers in the Batcave. That's the quantum reimager
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
Batcave. I mean, it's fucking the Batcave, dude. Come on.
Help! Hey!
Quit using the Batcave strength ray on me. Don't do it.
Not again. Yeah, man.
I'm we can do. If you can think of something to pair it with, or the crowd can think of something to pair it with. So, since it's March, I'm rewatching all my Patty's Day movies.
Your what movies?
Patty's Day, my Irish movies. I'm about 30% Irish. But it was kind of the culture growing up, Irish Catholic and all that good stuff. So first, I'm rewatching all the Leprechauns. I'm gonna try and review them on my channel, but we'll see if that actually happens. But one of the action, I guess, movies that I love Tom Cruise in is Far and Away, and it's a spectacular movie, and it makes sense for him in that action role because he's a little guy who dodges and
Oh, that's a fantastic movie.
It's a fantastic movie. I just don't know what we could pair it with.
That's a really
For
good movie.
Patty, yeah.
I can't believe you're
He's in
talking positively about a Tom Cruise movie.
I was about to watch it again. Yeah, that's I watch it every bunch. Yeah. Like, but it makes sense for him in that role because he's a little guy and he wins by ducking and dodging and sticking
That
and jiving and I mean,
that's a
like
fantastic,
it's great.
fantastic movie.
Mhm.
Uh,
What could we put it up against?
Days of Thunder, since it's
Ooh, I haven't seen Kill the Irishman. I've seen The Departed. I
Kill the
always
Eye.
watch Gangs of New York every year. I always watch,
Later,
but that's
James.
I mean,
Enjoy your pizza, homie.
have a good evening, sir.
I say that because he eats a lot of pizza. Rob Roy.
I could. I don't know.
Legends of the Fall is a great one.
But is it?
Chicken pizza, awesome.
Chicken.
Um,
Or just he got some KFC. He got
Eh.
some KFC. He's down with some KFC.
have you ever seen Legends of the Fall?
I've seen it, but it's been a long time.
Yeah.
I mean,
That one's a good one. Oh, there's another movie that reminds me of Legends of the Fall. Oh, it's A River Runs Through It. That movie and Legends of the Fall, I always mix those two movies up.
that might be the one that I'm thinking of. Yeah. How's that working out for you, Clint?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Falling with Legends.
Oh, Black Dynamite versus
Dolomite for patties.
Are you talking
Maybe.
about the one with being a smartass? Yeah,
yeah,
yep.
it's pretty good. Keep it up
Smartass
then.
pizza. Yes, sir. Slow delivery, always worth it. Yes, sir. Slow delivery of your pizza that your chicken pizza that you're about to eat. I didn't know it was delivery. I thought it was homemade. Frozen. And it's quality pizza. And when you got quality, yeah. So what are we doing?
I don't know. And we had. I remember in the past we had the Raid versus Dread,
Oh, that was
not
good.
Judge Dredd, but I mean we could do a lot of things. And wait, I saw Princess Bride versus something. Where did it go?
Labyrinth?
You know what would be good? Labyrinth versus Neverending Story is what I always thought.
Ooh, that is good.
And They Live versus The Thing. I could see that. The Thing. They're both Carpenter movies.
The Princess Bride
versus Time. But yeah, oh, that's what it was. I wanted you to explain that. I mean, you've got to eat your damn chicken if you got to eat some chicken. But I want like Princess Bride versus Time Bandits.
Have you ever seen Time
where you're
Bandits?
going with it. I have, but and it's been a bazillion years. I watch Princess Bride probably every Valentine's Day, but
eat your damn chicken.
This guy's like, I gotta eat some chicken, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna keep typing.
Dude, I wish I was eating chicken.
I'm
not gonna lie, I'm a little bit jealous. I'm looking at the time.
You, man.
All the chicken places are closed.
Okay. Oh, is it based on a book as well? Okay.
Also, a story. Time Bandits. I haven't
have
seen.
to rewatch Time Bandits.
I haven't seen Time Bandits since like 1983, which is before a lot of these people are born.
No, that's I haven't. I may have seen it sooner than that, but it's been a long time. And yeah, but Princess Bride we watch every year, like literally. James, yeah, that's like for Valentine's Day. It was just around last month. So I don't know if we watch it actually on Valentine's Day, but around that time we watch it every year.
You
Army of Darkness versus. That is literally one of my power sayings. Whenever and it's like from when I was a kid. If I need power, I start thinking that in my head. Like, my name is Inigo Montoya. You kill my father. Prepare to die. And I start gaining power.
Yeah, Army of Darkness versus Army of the Dead. No. Um,
Army of the Darkness. Angie, have you seen the? If you haven't seen the Evil Dead series, it's spectacular. Um, Willy Wonka. I want to do Willy Wonka versus Snowpiercer, which is considered a sequel to Willy Wonka. If you haven't seen it, it's awesome.
what is it called?
Snowpiercer, the movie. Um,
Snowpiercer
yeah,
about the train?
yeah. There's
That's
some
not a
YouTube
sequel
theories.
to Willy Wonka.
There's some YouTube theories, and they're very intriguing. Like, and if you rewatch the movie after you watch them, like, it's like some fan theories, and it's like it kind of adds up a lot.
Be like Snowpiercer versus Return to Oz.
Dude, Return to Oz is on Disney Plus. We could put that up against something for sure.
I never saw.
Like,
I never actually watched
dude,
Return to Oz.
it's creepy as hell for a children's movie. It's
Yeah, it is.
very creepy.
It's kind of why I never watched it.
It's
Uh,
um I would do Justice League versus Endgame, but I've seen them both. I enjoy them both, but Endgame win. Like it's Endgame's gonna win. Like I'm a Marvel guy. I'm like
also, when do you like? How many hours in a week do you have to watch stuff? Like to watch those two movies? It's like 8 hours a
yeah, I know
movie.
exactly. I got to take a day off of work. Um, Al versus Mr. Belvedere. That might be actually quicker than watching Avengers Endgame and versus Justice League.
Yeah,
But Return to Wizard of Oz is one of the best movies of all time. Return to Oz is good and creepy, and I really want to rewatch it for something. But I mean, comparing anything to Wizard of Oz, honestly, like I said earlier in the year, like I put it on for my kids, and this is a movie that's almost about 100 years old now, and they were just enthralled. Like they still like it's still great.
I saw it the other day. Like when I say the other day, I mean like 4 months ago. And I sat
Yeah,
all the way through. I was like, "Whoa, I haven't watched this in years."
yeah. It's amazing.
How about In the Army Now?
Ooh, that's a good one. Go ahead.
In the Army Now with Pauly Shore versus Army of Darkness. I'm just kidding. Pauly Shore in the Army Now.
We could do it. We could
Oh
do
boy.
it. We could. Up in Smoke versus Half Baked is pretty good. Citizen Kane versus Deuce Bigelow, Mel Gigolo. Um,
Oh, are there any more movies that are like Tombstone and Wyatt Earp, where it's like, say it was Braveheart, and then maybe they had a different version of or like any other movies like that, where it's like two different Troy and something else.
there's a ton of them. There's a ton of them. We just got to figure out what they are. Honestly, you could do what'd you just say? Damn.
Rob Roy.
Braveheart versus.
Did you ever see Rob Roy?
No, I never saw it. We could do Braveheart versus the Patriot. The Patriot's one of my favorite. I love Braveheart as well, but Patriot's always one. I watch that every 4th of July, and they're kind of kind of the same movie. Um, but I do like what Raging Bull versus Rocky, and then we could throw in Grudge Match, which was the idea for that. Or the idea for Grudge Match came from Raging Bull. But tonally, those are such different movies. Braveheart versus. So now I want to see. That's the second or third time I've seen Rob Roy. I gotta check out Rob Roy.
Dude, that might be a good one because Rob Roy is in 18th century Scotland. Robert Roy McGregor is head of the Proud Highlands clan that herds cattle. Rob Roy takes a 1,000-pound loan from the Marquis of Montrose, John Hurt, to feed his people through the upcoming winter. Before his friend MacDonald can return with the money, he is murdered by a swordsman, Archibald Cunningham Timroth. Rob is forced to go on the run and eventually confront Cunningham after he rapes his wife. Jeez, this is some serious shit. And it's Liam Neeson. So
Oh.
Liam Neeson dressed like William Wallace. So maybe that.
Liam Neeson in a skirt, doo-dah, doo-dah.
Yeah, I've seen
I actually do that. Like, okay, I do want to check that one out.
Rob Roy at some point. I think that's a good idea. We'll definitely put that on the queue because I never saw that,
Mm-mm.
and I do like. He's like, I've got a particular set of skills.
Was
He's
there's
got a
Liam
particular
Neeson
set of
doing a
skills.
Scottish
Yeah.
accent? Okay, all right, we can roll with that.
Good night, James. Nom
Have a
nom
good evening,
time.
sir. Eat that chicken, boy. Eat the shit out of that chicken. Boom, baby.
Yeah, boom goes the
Man,
dynamite.
I can't believe that the whole 64 Batman series isn't on DVD yet. I keep wanting to buy it, and it's not on DVD. You can
I'm
get an
thinking.
old out of print version, but rights are everywhere and all that good junk.
I'm thinking too. There's a Buddy Holly movie with Gary Busey versus La Bamba.
Wait, no, the Buddy Holly movie was good. I thought.
Yeah, and
Was
so is La
Did it
Bamba.
have Gary? Yeah, La Bamba was great. Yeah.
Yeah, Gary Busey plays Buddy Holly.
Are you kidding me? Is that
Nope.
the one I'm thinking of? Oh wow.
It's an
I mean, I
old.
guess he was very young. Yeah.
He was super young, and the only thing I remember that movie is he decks the producer for some reason. He like punches out the producer.
You know what's a good movie?
What?
Peggy Sue Got Married. Remember, she goes back in time and she's Peggy. She's Buddy Holly's Peggy Sue. Do you remember that movie?
Never saw it.
Anybody in the chat remember that movie? Like it's this. Yeah, she goes back in time, and but it's to the 50s, and like she's doesn't
I
want to live in the 50s.
vaguely remember that, but I don't know if I watched
I
it
think
or
it's
not.
Peggy.
Peggy
mean,
Sue got
it's
married. That's the thing.
Is it? Because I thought I was going crazy.
Oh, Angie got
Yeah,
one.
look at that! It popped up quick. Oh, Peggy Sue Got Married. Yeah, that's a good movie. Kathleen Turner, Nicolas Cage, Jim Carrey, Helen Hunt, Sofia Coppola. Wow.
Jim Carrey's in it?
I guess like it's been a million years.
Wow.
Back to School versus. Oh, okay, that'd be a good.
Back to School versus Billy Madison.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. Peggy Sue Got Married was a good one. I remember.
Another one is Indiana Jones versus Jewel of the Nile. Did you ever watch Jewel of the Nile?
That's the one with Stallone and.
No. Jewel of the Nile is Michael Douglas and like some Kathleen Turner-esque female.
Michael Douglas.
Yeah, Kirk Douglas's son.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. I think it was basically. Let's see if I can get a. Yeah, it is Kathleen Turner. Did you pull it up? You're muted.
Sorry.
There we go. Yeah, if you like.
Yeah, Bobby Beach to it. She said it was Kathleen Turner.
Yeah,
she's like,
that's Kathleen Turner. If you like. Damn it.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of was Romancing the Stone. Oh wait, well, so the first one, so they are related. So
Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile are both related. Yeah.
Okay, that's what got me mixed up.
Yeah,
I
it's
do
like
remember,
a poor man's Indiana Jones, basically.
I definitely remember the Stallone one. I don't remember
Stallone.
Romancing the Stone. He's
Oh
not in Romancing the Stone?
no, Romancing the Stallone.
Wait. No,
He's not
hold
in
on.
that.
No.
It's Michael.
Am I
It's
thinking?
Michael Douglas.
What am I thinking of then?
I have no
It's this
idea. I saw both of those in the theater.
Romancing the Stone cast.
Yeah,
It
it's
is Michael Douglas. What am I
Michael.
thinking of?
I don't know. Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner, and then Jewel of the Nile is
Stallone.
is the sequel. And Danny DeVito's in it.
I did see that. Stallone,
Dude, I haven't seen
Indiana
those
Jones
movies
movie.
ages. Yeah, it would be. That would be a fun. That's so weird.
There's a movie. I hope I'm not thinking of Rhinestone and just getting involved, like,
Rhinestone
where he's a
is Sylvester
no, that's a
Stallone
completely different movie. Yeah,
learning how to sing from he's got 30 days to learn how to be a country singer, and Dolly Parton teaches him how to be a country singer.
I hope I'm not like, but no, but I thought there was a maybe that's what I'm doing. Maybe I'm
That's
or
Rhinestone.
it's the Mandela effect. In my original universe, it wasn't Michael Douglas and it was Stallone. Uh,
You know what's
is there
real
a
bad is the only movie I've ever walked out of is Oscar, and that's like a musical with Sylvester
yeah,
Stallone and Juliette Lewis, and
we gotta
holy
we gotta
shit,
re we gotta rewatch that.
no, we don't. Me and my dad walked in. I've told you this already. Me and my dad walked in there, and 5 minutes in, we're like, "Fuck this, let's get out of here." And we ended up watching. We ended up watching The Perfect Weapon with Jeff Speakman, and which turned out to be badass. You
Well,
ever seen that movie?
I had no, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So was Oscar. Just give it a we're there you go. Oscar versus what's another historically bad movie?
Rhinestone.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sly could put a lot of them on there. Stop or my mom will shoot.
Yeah, I feel like The Last Action Hero
Oh, Last Action
versus
Hero is a good movie.
versus True Lies.
Oh, no, True Lies would demolish it. Just utterly. We could so here's the deal. Like technically we could do a Last Action Hero versus Jurassic Park because those were supposed to be the two biggest movies of that year. Jurassic Park obviously ran away with it, and True Lies was like a bomb. Not True Lies. Last Action Hero was a bomb.
Yeah.
Um, and like so that's why it's got all this bad, and it's still not a great movie, but it's a good movie. Um, but we could do yeah, because they were supposed to be the two big hits of that year. Like even there's even like quotes of Sloan or Arnold going, yeah, uh, everybody went to see Jurassic Park, and nobody saw my movie. Like they was supposed to be a good movie, but nobody saw my movie. So
Poor Arnold.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're down
Nobody
to
deserves nobody deserves to go up against Jurassic Park.
no way, dude.
Stripes versus Spies Like Us. That's a good one. I haven't seen either of those in forever. The
Spies
Great
Like Us.
Outdoors?
Great
The
Outdoors
Great
is a good one.
Outdoors. Yeah, that the Spies Like Us made me think of that one. I think it's got the same people. Well, Great
Spies
Outdoors
like
is
versus Plane, Trains, and Automobiles.
we could do that.
Tombstone versus Three Amigos. Just kidding.
Actually, Three Amigos was a pretty darn good
It's a fantastic
Western
movie.
movie. Like,
Yeah. Fantastic.
we could
Um,
do. What would be good? Three Amigos versus Tropic Thunder. Same kind of plot, same kind of idea.
Oh yeah.
Different, Three Amigos are actors who get caught in the real world. Tropic Thunder, actors who get caught in the real world.
What do you mean? What do you mean, you people? It's so funny. Uh, yeah, that movie's crazy.
What do you mean, Angie? You think that's a good idea?
Yes. Oh, well, we gotta think of some future ones. Um. So
We can always do the original versus reboot route. That's easy money. But
that's easy peasy, man. What are you guys at home? What are you guys thinking? All four of you. Uh-oh, I'm yawning.
yeah, they already said stop yawning. That's what they said.
Uh-oh. Time for the alarm.
Mm-hmm.
What do we want? A party noisemaker? What is it?
Kazakh says, I don't think.
Unacceptable. Hairspray versus Hairspray 2000.
I haven't seen either one of those, so
Ferris Bueller
that'd be
Day
fair,
Off
fair game.
versus Weird Science. Hey, dude, don't smoke in the
that.
Batcave. Just kidding.
Do you know how much chloroform is in here?
Oh boy.
Um, are there ninjas attacking you?
There are. It's this mic cover when I
Snap.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Damn ninjas. What is this?
I want you to. So Clint, I will give you $100 if the next time there is a political rally in Austin or a political, town hall,
Okay.
you go there
I'm listening.
and it kind of bums me out because there's so much serious stuff going on in the world. However, but you get up there and you put your name on the ballot or the thing, and you go up there, the questionnaire thing, and you write your name, and you sit there, and you go up there and you say, and whenever they're like, what are your questions? You go up there and you go, yeah, but what are you doing about the ninjas? We got all these ninja problems, and you ain't fixing none of our ninja problems. What are you gonna do about the ninjas? $100 in your pocket. It only takes like an evening of your life.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. What? But what about ninjas?
Nothing to fear but fear itself and fucking ninjas. So
It would
what
be
you
fun-
doing about the ninjas?
It would be fun to start going around and kind of like there's different people that will photobomb reporters.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime somebody's doing the news, they'll get them. If you could do that in any political thing, that would be pretty funny. Because I'm over the political nonsense. So anything to do derail, I'm in. Yeah, ninjas.
Telling you, man. These
I'm
ninjas,
telling you.
what with all the ninja going on nowadays, with their throwing stars and their katanas. I mean, shit, what people supposed to do nowadays with all these damn ninjas?
That's a serious question.
Not to even mention the nunchucking. We hadn't even talked about the damn nunchucking.
Oh boy, dude, are you excited? It's counting down till it's not far. to Moon Knight.
Oh, I'm ready for some damn Moon Knight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an
Yeah,
exciting show.
yeah, I can't wait. Well, that's gonna hit, and then Obi-Wan's gonna hit right before that. Like,
Right.
that's like we got this desert right now. I mean, there's plenty of good shows on. Don't get me wrong, but you know, uh, like that's yeah, I'm that's what I'm ready for.
Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff up. Let's see. I'm looking here. We got
Notice there's
Picard,
nothing about no damn ninjas because they don't
in
want you to know about the
Endgame,
ninjas.
Reacher, Yellowstone, 1883. I still haven't seen Euphoria. A lot of people talk about that show. Inventing Anna was good. I haven't watched the Pam and Tommy show.
Well, Netflix is about to come on with a new uh, other version of that. Apparently,
Oh, really?
yeah, I think so. I think I was reading something about that, like that Netflix is coming out with their own version of it.
I I also saw a new movie that Ryan Reynolds is going to be in, where he goes back in time, and he
Gonna go back
basically
in
he
time.
goes back to himself and goes to help himself back in time, and it looks like the Last Starfighter. Remember that movie?
Oh yeah,
It reminds me of that. Seeing that this trailer looks like the Last Starfighter, which is pretty
gonna go
cool.
back in
But
time.
next time you're on, next time you are on Netflix, take a peek at that. You'll see it. They've been featuring that trailer a lot with Ryan Reynolds, and it looks like a really cool show. It's gonna be a movie.
I, s- I still got to check out Free Guy apparently, or that's on Disney Plus now. I haven't seen
Oh,
it yet.
Free Guy was great, dude. Watch that. It's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, so uh, the reason I figured out it was on Disney Plus because I'm a teacher, and one of my students was like, "Hey, Mr. Baker, you seen the new movie on Disney Plus?" And I was like, "I don't know. What movie are you talking about?" They're like, "The one with the white guy." I was like, uh,
Which white guy?
"Well," I was like, "Well, Moon," and I was thinking white costume, you know.
Oh,
Um,
Moon Knight. Yeah, yeah.
And I was well, that's what I was thinking. Okay, white costume, all right, like, and I was like, "That's not out yet. Did they already start it? Maybe I got my dates wrong." Blah blah. And they're like, "Who the hell is Moon Knight? What are you talking about?" And they're like, "No, no, no. Oh yeah." And other kids were like, "Oh yeah, the one with the white guy. That's a good one." And I'm like, "That's like every movie in the history of the world, man. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?" And they're
What are
like,
you talking about?
they're like, "And he's in the video game and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Oh, Free Guy. No, I didn't realize that was on Disney Plus yet." And they're like, "Yeah, that's a good one." Like, I was
There,
like, "All right."
there's a new Halo TV show that's gonna happen soon. Right after, like at the end of this month, sometime. Um,
That'd be good.
yeah, it's
What's
supposed
it
to
coming
be.
out on?
I heard the Halo show is. I think it's produced by Steven Spielberg. Like he was involved. Read the script
But
and so that's going to be interesting. And I'm curious, did you ever watch Arcane?
no, I
Dude,
do wanna check it out though, because you've said good things about it.
you really got to check that show out. Arcane's a fantastic show. It's really good. Like like it really blew me away. Good. Normally I'm
Well,
just
yeah,
animated stuff. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, here or there. But I saw that and it like completely blew me away. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
no, I was gonna say it's based on a video game as well, right?
Yeah,
I haven't played the game,
but it's
but,
from before. It's from before the video game, and
like,
it's
you don't have to play the game
yeah. You don't
to
have to
know
know
what's
about the
going. Yeah,
game. I
okay,
never played the game. I don't even know what the video game's called. But the show,
yeah,
fantastic, like really
okay.
good. And I saw the Mayor of Kingstown, which is a Jeremy Renner show, Hawkeye, the actor,
Mhm.
and that is on Paramount Plus also, and that turned out to be really good. Um, he
Oh,
he's he's this weird middleman between the prisons, the police, and the gangs. And like anytime like the gangs are mad about the way they're being treated or something, or there's some weird stuff happening, they'll go to him, and he kind of, it's like a weird position, neutral position, that
mhm.
deals and is doing stuff that's a little bit shady all the time just to keep the peace, so that there's no riots and there's no there's no retaliation from the gangs, and there's no cops killing people and all that. So he's like, he kind of fudges things around the whole time, and it's a really crazy show. It's really good.
What's that? What's that on?
That's on Paramount Plus. It's called Mayor of
Damn it! Damn it!
Kingstown. Damn it!
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, I canceled a lot of my, close to all, but a lot of my streaming stuff because I was like, all right, we got to get our finances right and blah blah blah.
You got to do it, man. After a while, there's so many.
Yeah,
There's so
yeah.
many channels. It's just like, golly, you got to really pick the important ones. It's like Netflix is a must, and then
Yeah. Disney Plus ain't going
Plus
anywhere.
is a must.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just upgraded to the Hulu thing, the Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN, which I really enjoy watching sports, but I'm not an ESPN guy. But something had to go.
Yeah.
Several things went. They're gone now.
We're down to 4 people, dude, and we're at 2 hours. So I think it might be time. We're out of material here. I think it might be time to call it. Pull the old plug.
I love you all.
Bobby's got
Hulu's
Hulu.
on.
Yes, Hulu's good.
Do they have the Showtime shows on Hulu? Because we want to watch the new Dexter. Or is it vice versa?
I don't even know how it works.
Yeah, I'll check. I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna eat and go check.
Yeah. Good night, Angie. Have a great night. Bobby, have a great night. Kaz, have a great night.
Yes.
And that's the gang. So we're gonna have Curtis, have a great night.
Hey, Clint. You know what? You have a great night.
Hey, you don't tell me how to live my life, okay?
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. And everybody else out there, have a great night. And we're gonna be we'll be coming up with some good, interesting shows that are gonna be versus each other, and we're gonna talk about it. Yes, we are. It's happening.
Yeah.
So you guys have a great night. We're gonna see you guys soon. This is Clint Curtis. Peacing out. But before we go, I think we would be complete amateurs if we didn't say, hey, gang, like, share, subscribe. That's right. Subscribe, gang. Be sure you tell your friends about us, because that's how we get rich. That's right. So, yeah. So thanks again for watching. We will see you guys later, and I guess it's time for the outro vid. See you soon.